Hey girl, you gonna do the intro? Hey lovelies, it's Ebony and baby Lennox, and we're back with another video for you guys. This time we're gonna be talking about Lennox's 6-month update. So you guys asked me a bunch of questions on my Instagram story, and we're going to be answering those questions for you. So let's get started. Now, before we get into the questions, I just wanted to give a quick little background in case anyone is new here. I had Lennox on February 15th, 2023. She will be 7 months on the 15th of this month. I had her vaginally. She was 7 pounds, 14 ounces. I had a pretty uneventful birth. Went in on Valentine's Day, had her by the next morning, and was home about 3 days later. So yeah, let's get into the first question, finally. How are you enjoying motherhood? Is it really challenging? It's everything I expected and more. I'm just really happy. Like, I wanted to be a mother for so long. I did the whole IVF thing. I had a horrible miscarriage at 16 weeks. Was blessed enough to get pregnant again, and we have baby Lennox now. Yeah. Now, is it really challenging? Absolutely. But it's not more challenging than I thought it would be. Like, I knew where my weak points were as far as where I was going to be challenged as far as getting into motherhood, and I'm definitely being challenged in those areas. For example, I'm very rigid. I'm flexible, but not really. I like my routines. I like predictability in my life, and motherhood is challenging all of those things. So I knew it was coming. It didn't feel like a shock or this big adjustment to my life in a way that was like, oh my God, but it's definitely challenging still. Next question, postpartum shedding. Yes, I definitely had postpartum shedding. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw a lot of that through my content that I've shared there. I've also shared how I've been taking Vital. They are supplements to help with postpartum shedding. So go ahead and check out my Instagram if you want to know more about it. I will definitely link in my description box the link to the Vital supplements. And yeah, lack of sleep. Now, whoever wrote this just put lack of sleep with a question mark. They didn't say, are you getting enough sleep? How's your sleeping? They just put lack of sleep, like, because they knew I wasn't getting enough sleep, and they could not be more right. I knew that I was gonna have very little sleep in the beginning, you know, with a newborn and all that, but I thought I would eventually get back into like this, you know, I can sleep hard through the night because she's sleeping hard through the night. It's mostly, you know how you're driving and you let your gas light come on and you go to the gas station, you get just enough gas to turn the gas light off. And before you know it, the gas light is on again. That's exactly how I feel. And it's like, no matter how much sleep I get, it's just never quite enough. Like, I don't ever have that refreshed feeling. It's always like, how much sleep can I get until she wakes up next? Because even though she's sleeping through the night mostly now, she still wakes up through the night every now and again. She doesn't need a diaper change, but she's still waking up, and it wakes me up. Did motherhood come naturally to me? I would say so. I didn't ever feel like out of sorts or like I was in this weird space where I didn't feel comfortable. So the short answer to that is yes. And I think it's just, I don't know, it just did. There's no real way to explain that. What do I enjoy most about motherhood? I think what I enjoy most is seeing her just grow. Little things, big things, everything in the middle. Like, it just doesn't matter. Every time there's some little advancement or some progress or something new that she's doing, it's like, oh my God, like she's starting to cut her teeth at the bottom. And just that little bit of white peeking through, I was like, oh, This is like, it's just a tooth coming in. Her teeth are gonna grow regardless, but for some reason it was super exciting to me. So I would say that probably is the most exciting thing, or most what I love most or enjoy the most. And another thing is like these little small moments I have with her, like when I take her out of the crib and she puts her hand on my neck or on my cheeks to like kind of hug my face. Like, oh my God, I love that. It's the cutest, most genuine like expression of love that you can get, and it's just, I wake up 20 times in the night to get that. How is it taking parenting advice from older folks versus new age info? I definitely like taking new age advice, even though no one has really given it to me yet. But I do a lot of, you know, social media. You come across it whether you want to or not, and I find it really interesting. A lot of the stuff that I'm seeing, there are some things where I'm just like, I don't know if I really take from that, but I can definitely find interest in all the little areas of how people are doing things differently. As far as older folks, it's kind of like, it comes with the territory. There's no way you're gonna have a baby around elders and not get any piece of advice. It's just a matter of what you do with it, whether you take it or not. But no one has been very like forceful or made me feel any type of way so far, so that's good. How are you enjoying being a mommy? What is something you wish you knew in advance? Well, kind of answered the first one already. Something I wish I knew in advance. This is a question that I've been thinking about for a long time, and for some reason I just can't come up with anything. And I think it's because no matter what anyone would have told me prior to, I don't think it would have really prepared me or made me feel any differently. It would have just been something else to kind of file away. I don't know. It's weird. I just could not come up with anything. I think I had way more what I wish I knew for pregnancy. That was definitely a bigger, I definitely had a longer list for those things versus like motherhood. Because I think motherhood, it varies just like pregnancy, but motherhood especially because you're dealing with different people on both sides, the mother and the child. So it's like you can have all these pieces of advice, but your baby comes out and they throw tantrums from day one, or you have a baby that's very chill like Lennox. She is a very chill baby, and I think this just has a lot to do with me and Lex and the environment that she's in all the time. So it really just, it varies. So any piece of advice I would have gotten, I would have probably like, oh, thank you, and then filed away or forgotten it or whatever. But it's just like none of that matters once your baby is here. It's just like, what does this child need right now, this moment? What is happening in the present? How do I manage creating content with Lennox being a part of your schedule now? Like this. Say no, she has definitely put a little bit of a monkey wrench into my schedule, but it's not anything that I don't feel like I can't handle. So I say this now. I know when she gets to be more mobile and more to that toddler phase, I'll probably be tearing my hair out from the root, but we will figure it out then. But as of now, it's just a matter of like, okay, when's her nap? When's her next time to eat? So it's really just a matter of working on a schedule. Like I have to make sure that if I really need to do something uninterrupted, I do that while she naps. But if it's something like a voiceover, which surprisingly, she's very quiet when I do my voiceovers. I don't know if she's like just so intrigued by what it is that I'm doing that she's like, what? Because she gives me this look like, what are you doing? And she doesn't make a whole lot of noise. As long as she's fed and content, I can pretty much get anything done while she's still not crawling, not walking, etc., etc. So it's not that hard. I just have to make a concerted effort to like, okay, this is my window. It's do or die. You can't procrastinate. You need to eat now so that you can do what you gotta do later. It just makes me more intentional about my time, which I hate that. I really do. It's funny, as regimented as I am, I do like to have the option to procrastinate for a little bit of time before actually doing work. But now with the baby, that's over with. You got to get it done when it's time. How do I maintain my hair with the baby? Where is the time? Exactly, where is the time? But honestly, maintaining my hair isn't that much of a chore or time sucker more than what it was before. If anything, I just go a little bit longer without washing my hair or styling it. I just kind of make these things stretch as long as I can. So yeah, it's not a huge deal. I just try to make it so that my hair doesn't require a lot of attention, whether it's curly or straight. Now, when it's straight, obviously it's easier to detangle, put away, whatever, versus when it's curly and it's like, oh, I gotta detangle my hair for 25 minutes. So I try to do styles that don't require a lot of time. And if I do have to do a style in that way, I just gotta plan for it. So just like anything else, it's gotta get planned for. How is Lex enjoying fatherhood? I think Lex is really enjoying fatherhood from top to bottom. He's particular about a lot of different things that I'm grateful he's particular about. Like, for example, he has a bottle system, he has a diaper bag system, he has his special way he puts her to sleep. He does a lot of things that are definitely necessary and obvious, but he also does a lot of things that I don't see right away. And I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, for example, we have to, sterilize the water before adding it to her breathing machine. I always forget to sterilize the water all the time. It's almost like a blind spot for me for some reason. So luckily, he's always there making sure that there's sterilized water. Every time I forget and it's like the breath is saying beep, 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 more water, I'm like, oh my God. And I didn't do the water thing. And I turn and look and it's already water there. I'm like, thank you. I don't know what it is. I just always forget. Yeah, he's very present, helpful, engaged, whatever. he's there, and I'm very grateful for that. Lennox is very grateful, I'm sure. Are you getting sleepy, girl? Oh, he also loves like teaching her things. Like, she's not too little to learn anything, and he definitely shows that he believes that because he teaches her all kinds of stuff. He's always coming to me saying, look at this, look at what she's doing. And I'm just like amazed, because I don't know, you just don't think of these things until she's doing them, or you get a whiff of something that she might be trying, and then you kind of show it to her and she mimics it, and it's just like, what? So that's really cool to see. Tell us about your IVF journey. I definitely have a whole series on my IVF journey from when I was pregnant the first time. If you guys are super interested in that, I would definitely suggest go back and look at those videos. Even though that pregnancy didn't make it to the end, I went through that same process all over again with the same fertility center, and everything turned out great. So I would definitely suggest you to watch those videos to get a sense of what IVF was like for me. If you're interested in doing IVF yourself, you get a sense of what it could be for you, because that's a whole, like, I could talk about that now, but that would be like 3 videos long. And I'm just not going to do that to you guys. Next question. What do you see in Lennox's personality so far? We definitely see a lot of ourselves in Lennox. Like I said earlier, she's a very chill baby. I feel like she laughs at everything, but who knows, babies laugh a lot. I don't know. I laugh a lot, so I'm sure that if that is one of her traits, she gets that from me. I don't know. I feel like she sings a lot. She likes to vocalize and do a lot of things with her little voice, and I feel like she might be into music just like her dad when she gets older, but who knows? That's just my little 2 cents now. But yeah, other than that, she's just very sweet and affectionate baby. Like, I feel like she probably gets that from me too. So that's all we got for now. It's only been 6 months. What do you think? Did I leave anything out? She's getting sleepy now. What's her solid food schedule? So she doesn't have a solid food schedule as of now. She wasn't interested in solid food for a long time. The doctor said we could have started giving her solid food at 4 months old, and we just started like right at 6. Now the reason we waited so long is because the doctor told us before we give her solid food, look out for these signs, which were like interest in what we were eating. Like, for example, she's like watching us put food to our mouth, like following the fork up and down, opening her mouth if we put food to her mouth. And she just never did any of those things for so long. And then when we finally started feeding her solid food, she was just kind of like, it's okay. I think the texture kind of threw her off for a long time, and she just wasn't interested. But now she's getting much better. She loves carrots and bananas. So we don't really have a schedule just yet. As of now, we're just trying to give her a little bit of solid food every day, just to help her with those textures and to get used to having actual food in her mouth versus just formula. Is Lennox sleeping through the night? She was at one point. For, I would say, for all of month 5 for the most part. Some of month 6, and then in month 4 it was sporadic. But yeah, she is doing this thing where she wakes up throughout the night now, whether it's because the passive fell out her mouth or she just can't get comfortable. She's rolled over and she's just like, I don't like this position, or it's teething, you know. So it's just sporadic and it's killing me. I'm so tired. I have to literally power through like my physical feeling of I'm too tired to do this. I'm too tired to do that. Like, no, you got to do your work. You got to clean up, whatever it is that needs to get done. You have to push through. But some days I do just give in and like, you know what? All of this can wait till tomorrow, because nothing is going to get done well if I'm too tired to do it. Does Lennox sleep in her own room yet? If so, how did you put that in motion? Yes, Lennox sleeps in her own room. That was inadvertently put into motion, at least for me, when she was just about 3 months. I think Lex kind of like scam me into doing it because I wasn't in any rush to have her sleep in her crib alone. I felt like she was still too young. It wasn't a problem with her sleeping in a bassinet in our room. But one time Alex was just like, just put her in her crib just for a nap and see if she likes it. So we put her in her crib for a nap, and it seemed like she slept really soundly and got a lot of sleep. So we thought, okay, well maybe she's ready to sleep in her crib. And so from that point on, she's been sleeping in her crib. And yeah, he scammed me. But I'm kind of glad that he did, because I feel like who knows how long it would have been if I didn't do it at that point, because I see a lot of moms on all these apps and stuff, and they're like, their babies are as old as Lennox, and they're still like, is anyone else's baby still not sleeping in their crib? And it's just like, wow, I couldn't imagine having to rip the band-aid off this late in the game. What do I use for Lennox's hair? Okay, so for Lennox's hair, oh man, I left the thing in the other room. I use Shea Moisture products. Now this doesn't mean that these will be the only products that I use on Lennox's hair. These are just the products that have been working and what I'm willing to continue to use on her hair. Let me put her down. Gone to sleep. First video, girl, sleeping on the job. And it's the Shea Moisture Baby Nighttime Shampoo and Bath Milk. This is what I use for shampoo. And for conditioner, I use the same, from the same line, I use the Nighttime Deep Conditioner Tangle Prone Hair, which softens and conditions. And to style her hair, I will use the Shea Moisture Curl Enhancing Smoothie. Yay! And I say that because I really like these products. They work really well for her hair. The shampoo is nice and gentle. The conditioner is very thick and rich and yummy for her hair. I'm in baby mode. I don't know why I made that sound. And it's funny because as thick as it is, you would think it would take a lot to rinse it out. It doesn't. It rinses out so easily, which I love. And as far as the Curl Enhancing Smoothie, I love this for my own hair. This is what I used when I first went natural. I just wanted something gentle to style her hair, and I love that this works well for her hair. It moisturizes it, it softens it. I mean, her hair is baby hair, soft anyway, but it just keeps all that goodness going, I feel like. And I like to get it in this little tube because it makes it easy to travel with. I was using coconut oil as like her styler in the beginning, but after a while I kind of felt like it was, I don't know, her hair wasn't, it was dry or something. Like, I feel like what a lot of people complain about with coconut oil with their hair was doing, that's what was happening with her hair, and it just wasn't a good look. I knew you wasn't gonna go to sleep. Okay. All right, last question. How do I maintain Lennox's hair between washes? It's not something that I'm super regimented about because she's a baby. I can't put a bonnet on her head to sleep because it's just not safe. So I just do the best I can as far as keeping it moisturized. I make sure that she sleeps on satin pillowcases that are tucked around her mattress. Put a satin pillowcase, I tuck it down in her car seat. Anytime her head is going to be like leaned against something for an extended period of time, I try to make sure that there's a satin pillowcase there covering. But her hair still dries out in the back especially, and that's just part of being a baby. I mean, there's only so much you can do, so I'm not that like stressed about it because why? Her hair seems to be growing pretty well anyways. It seems to be pretty healthy, so we're good. And that is the last question. So we can go ahead and get ready to wrap up this video, Miss Girl. Oh, before we go, these were 3 things I wanted to mention before I end this video. Number 1, this is what I wish someone would have told me about motherhood, I guess, but it really pertains to pregnancy, and that's pregnancy brain. Like, I mean, me knowing about it wouldn't have made any real difference as far as like preventing it or dealing with it. It just is what it is. I swear, I feel like I'm working, like I said, with a quarter tank of gas all the time, but I think a lot of it has to do with the lack of sleep. When you don't get enough sleep for your body to actually rest and regenerate, whatever. I used to know these words. I just don't anymore. When you give your body time to do those things, your brain can fully function where it's supposed to be. But I just feel like now I'm like forgetting simple things, leaving things in places, and immediately forgetting, what did I just do with that? I can't believe I can't find a hoop. Oh, here it is. Like all the time, I do things that I didn't do before, like leave my dirty plates on the table. I never used to do that, never. But it's like, if something happens while I'm eating or before I'm done and I have to jump up and get to her, or remember, oh, I just remember I need to turn something in or send something off. Like, my mind is just mush. It's just mush. And the crazy thing about it is I talk a lot about not getting enough sleep as if like Lex isn't here to help, but it doesn't matter. If she wakes up for something, even if he gets up to tend to her, I'm up wondering, what's he doing? What's going on? What does she need? Like, he can completely take care of it, but this mom brain will just not stop. It just won't stop. I just can't fully relax if I'm awake and aware that she needs something. I don't just roll right back over to go to sleep. I wait until it's taken care of and then I can go back to sleep, which means I might as well have gotten up to do it myself. But whatever. Next thing I want to make sure I mention is belly bands. This is something that is like more to do with pregnancy, but kind of leaks into motherhood. And that's something that I wish I would have known about, because I ended up getting diastasis recti, and that's basically where your abdominal muscles don't come back together after pregnancy, at least not completely on their own. So I had to go to a physical therapist and do all these different exercises, and the diastasis recti has healed, but I look pregnant still. Like I was not expecting that. I thought my stomach would go right back down, but I look about 4 months pregnant still. And I know some of that's probably just like bloat or whatever, but a lot of it had to do with, in the beginning at least, the diastasis recti. And the physical therapist was like, get pregnant again, get that belly band, wear it throughout your whole pregnancy. And that's something really important, and I feel like not enough people talk about. Yeah, you can prevent a whole host of problems with your pelvic floor if you just wear that belly band and try and stay as active as you can, you know, medically safe while you're pregnant. And the last thing I'm going to mention is the Huckleberry app. If you guys have not gotten this app and you have a newborn or you're about to have a newborn, please get the Huckleberry app. I know it costs a little bit more than what I'm sure a lot of us really want to pay, especially me. I was not trying to pay. I think it's $60 for a year, but I'm telling you right now, I'm telling you right now, get that Huckleberry app, okay? It gets down to, I would say, like 10 minutes, within 10 minutes of what the baby needs every single time, whether it be a nap, milk when it's time to eat again. Like, it helps so much with understanding your baby's routine, because when you're just had a baby, you're not sleeping, the baby's sleeping here and there, it's a lot going on. But with this app, it can help track, okay, your baby slept for an hour and a half at 9 o'clock this morning. He or she'll probably want to go to sleep again around 12 or 1 or whatever, versus me just trying to guess. And with no sleep, I have nothing to work on as far as like energy. Like, I'm supposed to just be able to predict and know what my child needs before she needs it. It's just like, this app helps so much, y'all. I promise you, you will not regret getting this app. And the only reason I found out about it was through the What to Expect app. I don't see anybody talking about these things, y'all. So yes, please get the Huckleberry app. This is not an ad. This is just from one sleepy mother to another. Y'all, please. Even if you have a baby who's like as old as Lennox now, and you're like, is it too late? No, it's not too late. Get the app. Start putting in the info, times when you where she last ate, when you last changed her, because sometimes I forget, like, did I change her when I thought I changed? I'm telling you, it gets that bad. So just go ahead and get the app. I think you get like a 30-day free trial, 2-week free trial, something. It's a good amount of time, but I'm telling you, it's worth every penny. And that's the end of my TED Talk. That's the end of my TED Talk. Yes, girl, we are done. We are done. Did you have crust in your eye this whole video? This whole video, Lennox? If you guys have any other questions that you want to see answered in another video, go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. Go ahead and give it, share this video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Share this video. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Look, girl. Look, Lennox. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye.